Hello, this is Cynthia, and I'm going to be talking about my logo here. Um, Basically, my logo is, okay. So, first of all, first question was like, how successful is your logo in representing your brand and why? Okay, so I think my logo is very successful in representing my brand because I have this online business for learning languages with me. This is also a very important part of my life because I've been working for years now and I love what I do. And not only do I teach languages, but I also learn them. So I'm like really involved in the whole process and I care about this very much, which is why I made it um, my career. Anyway, so in the logo, there's an icon of a book with two letters, as you can see here. And these are in different languages. So a book is perfect because it shows that whatever the brand is, you need to study for something. The letters in the different languages show that you can learn different languages with me. Okay, the next was what specific style and design decisions did you make to help communicate your values and the importance of your values in your logo? Walk me through your process. So, actually, I really value hard work and studying to meet my goals. I can certainly help a student improve their level, but I am not solely responsible for their improvement. So oftentimes students ask me how many lessons they have to take with me in order to reach their goal. And I always say, well, it depends on how much effort you put in. By adding a book in the center, I showed that they should expect a lot of studying. Perhaps a curriculum that requires following along in a book. I used a gold background for a lighter feel, and the font I used was for its simplicity as well. Okay, so going more in depth on the font and the color palette. Okay, so this is my color palette here. I didn't use all of the colors, but the ones I did use, I wanted to go for something light as well. So I opted for the yellow here. You know, that way and then the charcoal color to make it pop out especially. I do have some alternatives. I have a dark version which are the same colors but in reverse, right? And then the just black and white for simplicity. But basically this is the original, right? And the other two are just some alternatives. Anyway, so this is the complete color palette. As you can see here, the first one is like salmon colored, pale neutral, charcoal, lavender, and soft gold. So I used these two. Anyway, so I only used two to make it simpler and to avoid not using too much color. For example, like maybe the book could have been like parts of the book could have been in all these different colors. But honestly, I felt like that would look too much like a rainbow, honestly, and I wanted to avoid that. Um, I also made, like I said, the other variations. So the soft gold is to appear creative and optimistic, and it perfectly suits my logo because I like to get creative during my lessons. And you also need to maintain a positive attitude when learning a language because it is a years long process. I think that signifies what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then at the end, so tell me about about how specific steps in the design thinking process affected your creative process. Who did you use for feedback, and how did you implement their feedback? Okay, so this was really interesting for me because I could, for example, here. Okay, it says to empathize, define, uh, ideate, prototype, and test. So I did all of these things in order. I even have some notes that I made. So here are some of my original notes. So first, I kind of had a very different idea actually of what I wanted to put on my logo. I first opted for a pencil and a line being drawn just to show that, you're drawing something or you're writing something actually. And then the logo here. And then I tried maybe putting the logo on top of the pencil, sort of like sideways. And I didn't like the second one, so I'm like, no, the pencil is just perfect. And then I have again some alternatives. So you could see here a book, and then the just tutorly at the bottom, or you can see a globe, what is supposed to be a globe, and then tutorly around the globe. These were some of my ideas, and then I took notes of what my family members said about my design. I had to ask multiple people because they didn't really have much to say, individually. So yeah, I asked like three people. Anyway, so originally my logo, and I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna show you here. I have a draft. My logo was this, and then the other logos here. Okay, too. Well, my original logo was this, right? And then we have the alternatives. I'm using the same colors as before. Yeah. And these two alternatives. Anyway, so like I said, originally my logo had a pencil with a straight line drawn, as you can see, and it's a very simple pencil as well. The simpler, the better. On top of that line, there's this globe, and it's kind of leaning on the pencil, or the pencil's kind of leaning on the globe. I wanted that to connect. And then underneath is just the name, Tutorly. Anyway, so obviously the test portion of the design thinking process really made me stumble because I was satisfied with this logo. And I thought it did a good job at presenting my business while showing my personality. I asked my dad, niece, and mom for their opinion. And all three said that my logo did not even hint at it being about language lessons. My dad said that the globe made it feel like the business was open to everybody from all cultures, which is true, but was not specifically the message I was trying to get across. Um, and then my mom said it looked like a logo of an architect or someone artistic. So that really made me pause and think, actually. And yeah, she said I should write in multiple languages to make it clear it was about that, or having two people converse with each other. That way I could really show that this is about learning languages with me. And my niece just said that the logo was too plain. So I took their advice and scrapped the whole thing because it wasn't clear. Sorry, it wasn't clear that it was about languages. So I decided to do what my mom said and write it in different languages, which is why there are two letters, in two different languages, making it clear what I'm the message I'm trying to transmit. Yeah, but the logo is actually pretty simple, and that was the whole point of the design, actually. Um, yes. So this is my work. Thank you.